Joining us now from Lviv, Ukraine, is Emily Wight. She is the global media manager with Save the Children, an organization delivering humanitarian aid to children and families. Emily, thank you very much for joining us today.
Having me.
And Emily, Save the Children has been operating in Ukraine since 2014, but the need has, of course, grown exponentially for aid during the invasion. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're seeing there on the ground?
Yes, of course. So, as you may know, the figures of child deaths have now gone up to 153 children have been killed. We predict that's a severe underestimate. Also, 2/3 of children in the entire country have now had to flee their homes, often with nothing but the clothes on their backs. And colleagues are telling me that they're going to these reception centres where all these children are, and they're showing signs of severe emotional distress. A lot of children have seen their entire homes and neighbourhoods bombed. They're waking up, having sleep disorders at night. My colleague who's on the Romanian border met an 8-year-old boy in one of our child-friendly spaces who drew a picture of a tank mowing into 2 women and a house on fire. This is just one child in the 7.5 million children in Ukraine who are caught up in this conflict.
It is horrifying to hear about what these children are going through. And what are the biggest challenges that these children are facing as they try to cope with what they're witnessing every single day?
Well, the immediate challenge is they're at direct risk of grave physical harm. And then we've got the psychological distress, huge risk of long-term trauma. There's a lot of children who will have been separated from their families, and as well as the immediate disruption to their education, disruption to access to healthcare. We've already heard reports of health facilities running out of supplies, for example. So we're really worried about what the long-term picture looks like as well here for children.
And Emily, we've been hearing more accounts of human trafficking, rape, other sexual violence, again, against fleeing women and children. Russia is denying those reports. But do you believe Russia is using rape as a weapon of war?
I'm afraid that's not something I can verify as an independent, impartial organization. What I would say is that we would need, independent, impartial investigations into that. And if that's happening, obviously that's absolutely abhorrent. What I will say is that there's a lot of children who are on the move on their own, and they're at huge risk of trafficking and abuse and exploitation. And one thing that Save the Children is doing is, we're bringing in experts in things like child protection from around the world to make sure that the response that we're operating within Ukraine and at the borders as well is really protecting these children, working with local authorities, working with other agencies like the UN, to allow them to get to their families when they need it.
Emily Wight joining us from Save the Children. Emily, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.